creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Psychological test. Take a close look at this image. What did you see first? If the first thing you noticed was the canyon, it means you judge people by their appearance, actions, and behavior. You are a rational observer. It's important to you how a person behaves, what decisions they make, and how they act in real life. If the first thing you saw was the bridge, it means you are someone who is highly sensitive to the emotions of others. You have excellent empathy, and you know how to empathize and understand the feelings and states of your conversation partner even without words. If the first thing you noticed was the woman, then you have a highly developed sixth sense. Sometimes you can't even explain how you manage to read a person, but almost always your intuitive guesses turn out to be correct.
I see a woman laying in canyon. What do you see?
Simpsons predicted that on September 30th, 2025, luck would reach thousands of people thanks to a historic Powerball drawing on that day. The winning numbers will be 9, 16, 28, 34, 51, and the Powerball 7, with a jackpot surpassing $1.7 billion. Figure powerful enough to transform entire communities. What's unsettling is that this exact combination had already appeared in a forgotten episode titled The Day of Luck. In it, Krusty the Clown hands out lottery tickets during a live broadcast. Laughing, he reads aloud 9, 16, 28, 34, 51, and the special 7. Most viewers dismiss it as a joke and switch the channel. But in the background, almost hidden, a screen displays a chilling message. September 30th. Luck changes for everyone. A tiny, almost imperceptible detail that today takes on a disturbing meaning. Fans who revisited the episode insist this isn't the first time Springfield has given us clues disguised as jokes. Perhaps fortune was never that far away. We just needed to pay closer attention. Give this video a like and comment. September 30th. If you believe you'll be a millionaire, and share it to attract this prize into your life.
Jaguars are
Just right, you know. You never know.
naturally large. They're the biggest cats in the Western Hemisphere, and they tend to gain weight easily. Once a jaguar reaches a certain size, you'll often see it lying on the ground with its belly facing up. Almost without exception, they get lazier and lazier. If they can sit, they won't stand. If they can lie down, they'll want to stay that way all the time. Because of their big bellies, when a jaguar lies down, its belly naturally flips over and its legs splay out. At this moment, they're at their most vulnerable, and caretakers often take the opportunity to gently stroke or pat their soft belly. But don't just focus on the chubby belly. Underneath all that fat, many jaguars' patterns create the appearance of a row of abs, making them look like muscular hunks. The feeling when you pat it is like touching a water-filled balloon. In contrast, wild jaguars are extremely agile and powerful jumpers. But jaguars raised and fed by caretakers often get so heavy that they don't bother jumping over pool fences. They'll simply slide over, rubbing their bellies as they go.
Happy jaguar.
Do you really think that it's our brain that produces thoughts? Why is it that with the same brain, right? Same neurological structure, but we have different ideas? And why is it that I have so many ideas and others have limited ideas? Well, like biologically, we cannot explain it. Okay, we never explain it. So if you study neuroscience, one thing that they will never ever ask is, where do our thoughts come from? Which is weird because that should be the most basic question, right? That's the first question you ask. But they never ask that. Why? Because they cannot answer it. And the answer, the possibility is that Geist exists. And our ideas come from the Geist. And when we think of ideas, it goes back into the Geist. Right? It's a ghost. It is with us and is not with us.
We are software. Our bodies are hardware.
The difference between a nice guy and a good man.
A nice guy gets along. Yeah, do that. Yeah, I'll do that. They don't necessarily have discernment or judgment, not sure what they stand for or stand against. It's like, yes, 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 sure, yeah, hey. A good man has ideals that they stand for and they'll stand against, and when they're tested, a good man is not a nice guy. Being a good man is a lot harder, for good reason. You're not going to be most popular. You're not going to be always most affable. It also doesn't mean you got to be a dick or an asshole. It just means sometimes you got to go, I believe in this is for me, and that is not for me. And because that is not for me, if you do trespass into my space upon me and my family, I will do my best to cause consequences. And I'm going to let you know that. I hope that's apparent. Because I'm not going to intrude on you, but if you trespass that, I'm going to stand up for it. And that, we could talk our way out of that, great. Doesn't always work that way. A good man's not looking for trouble. But if it comes, and if he or something he cares about, unless we're susceptible being trespassed on by trouble, a good man does what he can to stop that.
Good man has boundaries. Nice guy is a doormat. This is so sweet. Oh, look at that. Oh man. So cute.
Did you know that in Japan, one of the most advanced countries in the world, children don't take tests or exams at school until they reach the higher grades? The reason for this will surprise you. The Japanese believe that in childhood, there are more important things that children need to learn. First, they are taught to have good behavior and respect for all people, regardless of status or income. Second, they are raised to be independent, but also to learn how to work in teams. For example, Japanese schools don't have janitors. The students themselves clean the classrooms, hallways, and courtyards, sharing the responsibilities among each other. Third, children learn from an early age to take care of nature and the environment. Fourth, the focus is on learning for knowledge, not for grades. Fifth, special attention is given to education in courtesy, order, and punctuality. Thanks to this approach, the overall level of development and discipline among Japanese children is considered one of the highest in the world. If you agree with the Japanese way of educating, leave a comment below. Do you think this is the right choice? If you're not following, you'll probably never see us again. But if you are, then congratulations. You're growing every day.
Every country should follow Japanese way of school. What do you think?
You gotta call him. You sure? Yeah, because people's not reacting at all.
Oh my goodness.
If you didn't know any better, looking at this fighter, you might think that he's ready to go back out there and throw some more punches and be on the receiving end, but you would be wrong. This is a video that was sent to me through Facebook DM. In it, this fighter can be seen standing right here. We have somebody checking up on him, making sure that he's okay. You can see that she's checking his eyes, stating that his pupils are not reacting, and her deciding not to let him fight very well might have just saved his life. For those that don't know, your pupils react to light. The more light there is, the smaller your pupils get, and the less light, the larger they get. In certain scenarios, though, your pupils might not react, and this is a telltale sign of damage to your brainstem, especially involving activities like fighting, where you're getting hit in the head. And this is very dangerous because your brainstem controls all of your essential things like breathing, heartbeat, etc. If it shuts down, you shut down, and you're dead. So had this guy been allowed to go back out there and potentially sustained more damage to his brainstem, he might have found himself dead. So yeah, definitely right idea to pull him out.
People not reacting mean severe brain damage.
There was once a gold store in New York that nobody dared to rob. Its owner, Eva Sam, was an extraordinary woman. Even the most notorious black gangs wouldn't dare to touch her store. Why? When Eva first came to New York to start a business, she noticed that almost everyone on the streets was wearing big gold chains and flashy watches. With her keen business sense, she immediately realized the huge potential in this market. She decided to open a wholesale gold jewelry market right in the neighborhood with the largest black population. The jewelry she sold was designed specifically specifically for hip-hop culture. Eva was also very considerate of her customers, most of whom were not very wealthy. She offered a wide range of products, from pure gold to gold-plated and even plastic, to cater to different budgets. If a customer had a unique design in mind, Eva could even create it for them overnight. Her store quickly became popular for its fast delivery, high-quality products, and affordable prices. Most importantly, Eva treated all her customers equally. No matter which gang they belonged to, or how tough they looked, Eva would offer them beetle nuts and remind them to take care of their health. For many of these hip-hop artists, who often grew up as orphans, Eva was like a mother figure. They considered her their family and would visit her regularly, even after they became rich or gang leaders. Anyone who dared to harm Eva would be seen as stealing from their own. Once, a small-time gangster tried to rob Eva's store. The first group of robbers returned not only the stolen gold jewelry, but also 3 times the amount and 4 bloody gold teeth. The second group returned at night, missing a finger from each hand. As a result, Eva became untouchable, with countless photos of her customers hanging on the walls of her store. Anyone who thought of robbing her would think twice.
A grandma that looks out for everyone is looked after by everyone.
Upon your business, upon your life, upon your family, in the mighty name of Jesus.
Is it in London? Man, this is awful.
It's on Facebook. Reverse shop.
So who posted it? The robber?
نبتاوي نبخبش وسرمات راست برا إمن را نسون ترو نب بت حقا وسط.
Reason number 77, we're living in a simulation. What if I told you the whole Charlie Kirk tragedy already happened exactly 27 years ago? This is gonna f*** your mind. So there's a movie from 1998 called Snake Eyes starring Nicolas Cage, in which a political figure named Charles Kirkland, that's his actual name in the movie, gets by a sniper in the neck in the exact same spot as Charlie Kirk at a public event. Now, in the opening scene of the movie, there's a sign for this event that shows us it also took place on September 10th, the same day it happened, during a boxing event headlined by a boxer named Tyler the Executioner. Tyler Robinson is being accused of committing the execution in real life. During the scene, Cage is heard asking about his lucky number, while we see someone holding up a giant 7. Recently, Elon Musk announced that every spacecraft launched in 2026 will bear the number 77 as a tribute to Charlie Kirk. Why 77? I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me. If it wasn't obvious enough, there's also this massive all-seeing eye on a blimp or something watching the entire sequence of events go down. That's because the movie is called Snake Eyes, and 2025 also happens to be the year of the snake. Promotional posters for the film feature the tagline, "Believe everything except your eyes." Oh, and was also filmed in the Trump Hotel in Atlantic City. Believe everything except your eyes. I don't even know how else anyone could possibly explain this. Simulation confirmed.
Have y'all seen this video? This video got 10 million views and 1 million likes, and the only thing is happening is this dude eating Taco Bell in his car. It says, "Please don't tell my wife, I just want some regular food." Now me, looking at this video, I was confused, because why would they tell your wife about you eating some Taco Bell? Is she a vegan? What's going on? Well, I went to the page and did some research, and I'm about to present it to you right now, because I'm so happy he got a chance to eat that Taco Bell. Let's get into the meals his wife was cooking. When it's my husband's payday, so I surprise him with the best meal he ever had. She got some chicken she putting her fingers in. She's crumpling it through. It looks like she put some spray on her face right over the chicken. Right over the chicken. That's diabolical, but her face looking snatched. You can see she putting the outside of the package on the rice. And what is this? Is this cooked?
Ooh.
This is the gravy to go on top of the rice? Oh. What is that? That's
avocado? What's going on, man?
And how is it good? Why he hesitating like that? Oh God, y'all. Now, what if I was to tell you that was the best meal I had found in my research? And I started it off with that meal just so y'all can get eased into what we're about to be involved in. So let's get it started. So this one right here is when my Mexican husband comes back from work and I surprise him with a feast. She puts some mashed potatoes on the plate. She smashes the plate, and then that looks like sausages. And another type of sausage, she put the chicken she boiled on top of the sausages and then broke them apart, right? She got some hash browns right next to the chicken and mashed potatoes with some rolls and some sausage. Why, she must love that.
Brown stuff.
Whatever that is, she love that. What is that? Why is there black in the middle of it? It looks like it's not fully cooked. And then you putting cheese on top of all of it? Oh, my boy. It's good.
He said,
And he chomping it down too. He doing his best. Let's look at meal number 3, and we're gonna see which one y'all think is worse. Is the first meal, the second meal, or the third meal? Because that second meal is hard to beat. That second meal is hard to beat.
The second one, man.
This one right here, she got some rice. Why she looking like that? You can tell she looking at somebody while she was making it. She was like, "Why you looking at me like that? What you mean? What is this?" She got the chili on top of the rice. Oh, okay. What I do like, this is the first one she posted, so you can tell this is when she started, right? She did not start off by ramming the package inside of, but she is going to make makeup right, she is going to do her makeup right over the food, though. To sausages, oh, what is that? What did you put in there? What, a baby? You see the baby looking? The baby looking like, mama, what is that? What is that? Oh, I don't know. Is it the second meal or the third meal? Which one do y'all think is the one y'all would want to eat? Because he has to eat all of it. He chomping it down.
What he say?
You like the sauce?
So after watching all that, I can see why 1 million plus, 10 million plus people are so happy to see this man eating a little bit of Taco Bell at his job. But do you know what's the craziest thing about this happening? You remember how he said, "Please don't tell my wife"? They told his wife. And she started to make this man tacos every single day.
Yeah, good wife.
He's saying right here, "Ooh, I love the smell of fish tacos."
What this mother did.
Guys, this might sound crazy, but perhaps it's just for content.
To her son was pure evil. Karina was a single mother. To outsiders, she seemed gentle and caring, treating her son Noah with endless love. But in Noah's life, there were 2 strange rules. He was never allowed to step inside her dressing room, and he was forbidden to have a girlfriend. At first, Noah did not take it seriously, until the day he brought his first girlfriend home. His mother invited the girl into the dressing room. A few minutes later, a scream came from inside. When the girl walked out, her expression had completely changed. She looked furious, disgusted, and even hateful. She cursed Noah as if he was some kind of monster, then stormed away. His mother simply stood there with a cold smile on her face. The same thing happened again with his second girlfriend and his third. Each time they entered the dressing room, each time they came out with eyes full of loathing, fear and confusion consumed Noah. Finally, he confronted his mother. "What did you do to them?" She only smiled and said in a chilling voice, "You should not have a girlfriend, because you do not deserve one." The truth became a poison in Noah's chest. He had to know what was hidden inside that room. One day while his mother was away, he broke the lock and stepped inside. What he saw made his blood run cold. The walls were covered with photos. In every one of them, he saw himself abusing women. But Noah swore he had never done any of it. As panic seized him, a familiar voice came from behind. His mother's voice, sharp and icy. "What you are seeing is your father."
What? Is this true? Or, what he said, urban legend only?
Into the face of the black South African and said, "Ma'am, this officer went to your township, arrested your husband, brought him outside the township, partied, and roasted him over a fire till he was burned to death. 1 year later, they did the same thing to your son. Came to your home, arrested your son, took him out to a party outside the town, and burned him to death. Now, what do you want us to do with this white police officer?" And this black South African woman said, "I got 3 requests. First request is, I want this white police officer to take me to the place where he burned my husband and my son to death so that I can gather up their ashes and give them a proper burial. Second request is, I want this white police officer to come to my township once a month and allow me to mother him, because I got a lot of mothering left in me and he's taking my family away from me. And the third thing is, I want you to allow me to walk across this courtroom now and give him a hug to try and convince him that my forgiveness of him is genuine and real. And the Truth and Reconciliation Commission said, yes, go ahead. This black South African woman stands up, and as she's walking across the courtroom to this man who was responsible for the murder of her husband and son, a person starts singing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. That's the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Wow, powerful story.
These kids gonna f our kids up. I promise you that. There's a child right now screaming just as loud because his iPad is on 10%. Not dead. He already having an anxiety attack because he already know in 20 minutes his iPad about to shut down, and they preparing him for everything. I know y'all out there screaming, oh, this is child abuse. Hey, that child probably after training, probably have to do a 10-hour shift to go feed a family at 7. Talking about child abuse. This kid is kidnap proof. And if they take him at 3 o'clock, he gonna be back by 3:15. Kidnappers is gonna be, hey, please take your child back. My bad. I ain't know this mother. I ain't know he's gonna kick me in the face 32 times while I was driving with your dumb ass.
Hey, am I the only one that feels hurt by watching the boy cry? Maybe I'm too soft.
What if the English language wasn't made to help you communicate, but to control you? Welcome to the Spell of English, the most dangerous operating system on earth. This is part 2 of the Power of Words project, where we decode the world's most dangerous spells. And today we're going to pull back the curtain on English, the official language of empires, courts, and colonizers. And I'm about to show you how this tongue was tuned for domination, and how to flip the script. So number 1, English. English comes from Anglish, the language of the Angles, which is a Germanic tribe. It was spread through empire, colonization, and commerce. So this is not the natural language of the spirit. Instead is the engineered tongue for control. Why is that way? Because English is a Frankenstein language, mixed with Latin, law, Germanic, war, and French, elitism. And it's filled with double meanings, legalese, and reversals to trick the subconscious. The entire system was built to confuse, contract, and consent without realizing it. So the counter spells for this is speak slowly, speak with awareness, speak consciously, reclaim your tone, and pause. You know, silence is a sacred spell as well.
Wow.
Number 2, contracts and consent words. So English is a language of contract law. And this is why you sign agreements and submit forms, which are legal bindings written in spell form. Why it's this way? Because every time you say I understand, it means you're standing under authority. When you apply, you're begging for permission. And these are consent words built in everyday speech. Some counterspells for this is never say I understand. You can say I overstand or I understand. Replace apply with declare or step into. And practice saying I do not consent, especially in energetic moments. Number 3, curses hidden in common words. The architects of this language were aware of phonetic inversion magic, and they embedded opposing frequencies in simple words. Why it's that way? Well, live backwards is evil. God equals dog reversed.
Wow.
Blessed equals be less. And it comes from Bledsian, which means marked with blood.
Ooh.
And spell equals to enchant and bind by utterance, which is a spoken word, statement, or sound. So these are some counter spells. Instead of saying blessed, you can say empowered or held in source. You can use creator instead of God if you want to break the dogma. And just increase your vocabulary, because every word you say, it either binds or frees you. So they didn't teach you English to express yourself, rather to suppress yourself. But now you know the code, and now you see the glyphs. And now you speak as a creator, not a consumer of spells. If you want to go in depth with this stuff, just check out my ebook. Link is in the bio. I made it because everybody kept asking me.
Silence is a sacred spell. I'm never forgetting this.
The life of a homeless woman in Japan who spends her days addicted to pachinko and works one day only to rest for 3. Do you know how decadent her life is? At 1 p.m., 23-year-old Nanako finally wakes up. As a freelancer, she has no fixed working hours and usually sleeps until she naturally wakes. Since graduating from college, she has been doing day labor jobs, getting paid immediately after each shift. One day's work is enough for her to cover food and expenses for 3 days. After washing up, Nanako heads to the pachinko parlor, the biggest pleasure in her life. Pachinko is very popular in Japan and a common way for people to relax. The game is simple: exchange cash for balls, play to earn points, and then trade points for prizes. Nanako spends most of her money here, but usually loses more than she wins. After only 4 hours, she's down to just over 7,000 yen. She leaves and goes to a restaurant for dinner before heading home. Luckily, she has already lined up a day labor job for the day after tomorrow, so the 7,000 yen will cover her for 2 days. After eating, Nanako goes home and pulls out snacks and beer. She says she's fairly satisfied with her current life, having no big ambitions. As long as she can cover her basic needs, she sees no reason to spend most of her time working. She'd rather earn what she can, spend it, and enjoy life's pleasures. So what do you think of this kind of lifestyle?
How is she homeless when she clearly lives in an apartment?
Here's a few powerful mindset tricks by Marilyn Monroe. She had an alter ego that she would turn on and release a magnetic energy and shift this with good posture and a poised smile and smolder. Marilyn Monroe would use her vulnerability to attract people. Her vulnerability is what would make her approachable to most people. Marilyn Monroe learned and knew that she didn't need anyone who didn't need her, and in some moments when Marilyn Monroe knew someone was using her for their gain, she would beat them at their own game by doing it twice as better. Marilyn Monroe knew men were dumb, and even told Joan Rivers that men are stupid and like big tits. So when men tried getting what they wanted from her, she would lead them on only to take advantage of them the way they would do to her. And here's an iconic line from Marilyn Monroe from her film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes that speaks nothing but the truth.
No, you might convince this jackass that you love him, but you'll never convince me.
That's too bad, because I do love him.
Certainly. For his money?
No, honestly.
Have you got the nerve to stand there and expect me to believe that you don't want to marry my son for his money?
It's true.
Then what do you want to marry him for?
I want to marry him for your money.
There, you admit that all you're after is money.
No, I don't. Aren't you funny? Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You might not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, doesn't it help? And if you had a daughter, wouldn't you rather she didn't marry a poor man?
But
You'd want her to have the most wonderful things in the world and to be very happy. Oh, why is it wrong for me to want those things?
Well, I concede that... Say, they told me you were stupid. You don't sound stupid to me.
I can be smart when it's important, but most men don't like it.
She was such a smart woman. People underestimate her.
Sleep was sin in my household. I saw my dad asleep one time in my life. I got up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning and went through the kitchen and peeked, and I saw him sleeping. I went and woke up my brothers like, dude, but Dad's asleep. He actually died 2.5 months later. And connected that idea that, oh, if he slept in that late, he must have not been feeling well. If it was daylight, you couldn't be inside. There's a fierce sense of independence. 30 minutes of TV a night, max. Mom would always say, why are you going to watch someone doing something when you can go out in the world and do it yourself? Turn that damn thing off. Get outside. Had to be outside. Like, get out in the world. Go hustle. Figure it out. Be home at dark. That was just the understood rule.
I'm 45, and that's how my generation was. But kids can't do that now. Oh, by the way, if you want to send me a video, you can send it through my Instagram, okay, at BroskiRay. The link is in the description.
So y'all, I want to bring across your attention a video that was sent to me today, and I want y'all to look at this with me, because what am I seeing over here? Now, I did some research, and this appears to be a botanical garden in India. Now, are my eyes deceiving me, or what I see is real? Because this is a garden, but what I'm seeing is a lot of death, because even the trees, right? I see birds flying around everywhere, and this is pretty disturbing. Now, I did some research, and this is a form of Zoroastrian, where basically they let nature do its thing. The vultures are flying around, and they're having a pick at these things. But I'm also seeing a lot of symbolism, y'all. Sacred geometry. Let's look at it. So it looks like these cadavers are in what's called an eye, right? These circles, they look like an eye. And what do they say about the eyes? The eyes are the windows to the soul. And then it has like these little slides where I guess the blood would be coming down after they've collected. So where is this going to? You see, here's a little slide where the blood would be coming out of, but it looks more to me like a ritual site. Are my eyes deceiving me, y'all? I'm beginning to see that this planet is obsessed with death, and what do they do with the dead bodies afterward? Because there are some rumors that are going around that people may be eating these things, and I'm seeing again like sacred geometry, y'all. This guy is also saying something. I don't know what he's saying, so I'm gonna let him play a little bit, and then you guys can translate what he's saying.
Кішкентай балдарды біреуіне ер адамдар, біреуіне әйел адамдарды жерлейді. Жерлегенде осылай үстіне қойып қояды. Ол адамдар күнге күйіп, желмен қақталып, сүйек болғаннан кейін ортасына лақтырып тастайды. Үндістан мемлекетінде зороастризм дінін ұстанатындар әлі де көп. Жалпы зороастризм діні Қазақстанның жерінде де болған. Ол туралы мәлімет.
I don't care what you say, man. That is some type of ritual. And then the fact of the matter is, it killed of all of nature all around it. Look at all these trees, y'all. These things are barely trees anymore. They look like roots. But yes, y'all, let me know down in the comments below. The shift is here. Y'all see it. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
Smart people is they seem weird to dumb people. You know what's the best comeback if somebody says you're weird? Quote Albert Einstein. He said, the thing about smart people is they seem weird to dumb people. That'll shut them up.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Turn off the phone. Get this fucking...
Oh my god, well last night, I looked for a long time, then I tried to get some sleep.
You last night?
I made yeah, last night, when I tried looking for you.
You weren't even with me last night.
Have you seen the video about Nick's disappearance? I swear, this is the strangest thing I've ever come across. This happened in the Midwest. Last weekend, Nick and his girlfriend got this so-called random task.
This corn. Nick, are you gonna go?
If corn wasn't so dang itchy.
Well, just try.
I'm gonna stick my head in it.
Around 2 a.m., they drove out to a cornfield, pitch black. The only light came from their car headlights cutting through rows of tall, silent corn. When they got there, she stayed in the car. Nick grabbed a flashlight and went in alone. She thought he'd be back in a few minutes.
Nick! Oh my god. Nick! Yell if you need help. I'll call someone for you.
But 10 minutes passed, then 20, then an hour. She kept yelling, Nick, Nick! But the cornfield stayed silent except for the wind. She waited the whole night. Sunrise came, still no Nick. She was about to call the cops. Then the next night, Nick suddenly walked out on his own.
Last night, Nick's nephew's been looking for him, and anyways, I've been driving around and I found Nick.
She was relieved, pulled him into the car, ready to ask what happened. But that's when it got weird.
Yes, people online have been looking for you. Where have you been?
What do you mean you like barked and fucking drove away?
Nick wasn't the same. His eyes looked different. He snapped. Why did you leave me? I was screaming for you in there. She froze. What are you talking about? I never left. I was waiting the whole time. Two people, two completely different stories. Nick swore he saw her drive off, swore he heard footsteps in the corn, but she insists she never left the car.
Nick, I waited for a long time. You went in, I could hear you walking through, and then there was nothing, and I called out to you. I waited there for like 10, 15 minutes.
So what really happened in that field? Why do they remember two completely different nights? No one has an answer. All we know is Nick came back, but he was never the same.
Maybe that's not Nick.
Y'all, this shit is crazy, fool. What the UK just proposed, it got the whole world on alert. Everybody looking like, what the fuck? By 2029, everybody in the UK must have a digital ID if you want to work and do other things. If you don't get the brick card, you won't be able to work. You won't be able to travel. And if you can't work, you can't buy food. If you can't buy food, you can't survive. This sounds like something out of Revelations, like the mark of the beast. Y'all, and the crazy part is, if this shit work, or if they allow it to happen in the UK, and it's working out, expect other countries to start doing it. Maybe Europe first, and then it might come to America, then it might go to Asia. Everywhere might adopt it. We might be fucked. I feel like that shit just gonna start being like a domino effect. Y'all trying to tell me this shit don't sound like Black Mirror? Exactly. The government system that controls what you do, what you eat, where you at, who you are. The only thing is, this time it's not fiction. This shit happening in real time. You already got people saying hackers finna be licking their chops because they gonna be hacking into shit. This is all I gotta say about it, y'all. Do not play their game. Y'all must speak up right now, sign petitions, spread the word. Do not give in. If the UK can somehow stop this by doing petitions and other stuff, y'all know what I'm talking about? We can most likely stop it from happening everywhere. We need to do something now, because once it's going everywhere, we're going to be short. We're going to be out of luck. And the question I got to ask is, if and when it comes to a country near you, are you going to comply? What are you going to do? Y'all got to act right now. Make some calls. Sign some petitions. You know, do some, yeah.
Jesus is coming soon, folks.
So I went down the Erica Kirk rabbit hole, and let me just say, if any of this is true, then this is insane. Let me start off by saying that this is all allegedly. So a lot of people have been raising questions about Erica Kirk ever since the memorial, and then the one video she put out addressing the nation about Charlie Kirk, and then the picture she posted with him in the casket caused people to do a bunch of digging about her. Just seem very disingenuous. So apparently she used to run an orphanage in Romania, and it was a Christian orphanage, and allegedly a lot of kids went missing. A lot of kids who came into that orphanage went missing. With her ties to you-know-who, his ties to you-know-who, a lot of people are speculating that those kids were trafficked. Because you know she won Miss Arizona in 2012, which was co-owned by Donald Trump. I remember Erica Kirk and Donald Trump, they have history. They've been knowing each other. But here's another thing. She is allegedly banned from Romania. He was kicked out of Romania. Orphanage closed down. And among that, a lot of people are speculating that the one video was AI or it was a reptilian and it wasn't really her and she was in on it. And there's allegedly TikTok, allegedly. This rabbit hole goes really deep when you start to look. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of things that look fishy, okay? And these are the things that are being put out there. And so I do think it is strange. A lot of people were saying that she was Bro's handler, allegedly, and he knew something. She was there to watch him and she knew something and she had to pull the plug or tell people about, you know what I mean? This is all alleged. TikTok, this is alleged. This is people's conspiracy. I'm not saying any of this is true. This is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. If none of this is true, let her grieve in peace. Maybe this is just her coping mechanism. Maybe this is just the way she grieves. But a lot of people on the internet are raising questions about her. That's all I'm saying.
How did Charlie not know about her past?
Exist is the greatest lottery ever won. For you to be here, your mother and father had to meet. For them to exist, their parents had to survive. And before them, a long, unbroken line of ancestors who escaped death in every era. A man who survived the chaos of war. A woman who endured famine. A warrior who outran the blades of an empire. A villager who lived through plague. Countless faces who faced storms, suffering, disaster, and kept going. Each of them lived so that you could breathe. And here's the truth. For you to exist, everything had to happen in perfect sequence. One misstep in the chain, one life ended early, one choice made differently, and you wouldn't be here. So when you walk through the world, Know this, you do not walk alone. You carry the blood of thousands within you. Every heartbeat echoes their sacrifice. You are not just you. You are the summit of 1,000 lifetimes. The odds of your existence? Nearly impossible.
Imagine if we had genetic memory.
Real talk, who is this? Who is this?
Look weird.
Who is this? Who are those people behind her?
Mona Lisa.
Really? What is going on out here, guys? Who's this?
Is that a guy?
Who is that? So you want me to believe that that's Mona Lisa? Mona Lisa's not here anymore. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if Mona Lisa ever existed. Who were those three people behind her? Who are they? Because last time I checked, Mona Lisa was just a picture. Just a picture. And I'm not sure if it was actually a real person. People are saying that that's Alexis Stone. Somebody on this app that like dresses up like other people, like a costume or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know about this. There's a lot of realistic masks that are floating around, guys. And I'm starting to think that people we know may be using them. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just wondering who that person is, but people are saying that that's somebody named Alexis Stone, something like that. I don't know who that is, to be honest with you. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. I'm out.
So you saw the snake eye thing, right? What if I told you there's a music video with Erica being an actor getting with a guy named Tyler with certain dates in the video? Not just 9/10, which we know what that is, but also 10/10. What is 10/10 supposed to be? Y'all, I cannot even believe this, but we know the music industry is practicing divination and summoning demons to write their music. And you'll never guess who married Tyler and Erica in the music video. So first off, credit where credit is due. There's this guy named Ayan Atta over there on Twitter, and he got a message from Chris. Chris says there's a music video by Emerson Drive called She's My Kind of Crazy. And in the video, there's some questionable numbers and questionable relationships. Iron, Ra, Atta, Ma. It is 2025, y'all. Learn Pig Latin. I had to record this very carefully so I can show you guys. All we're doing in this video is going over a really cool music video. So the actress in the music video, which you know who that is, actually commented on this 13 years ago. What a blast Tyler and I had shooting the video with you guys. This is in the end of the video when they're ziplining. 9/10 and 10/10. What in the world is 10/10? Now 1000% unrelated. Remember a few days ago when I made a video about people on Twitter warning of a certain event to come? Completely unrelated. I just wanted to remind y'all. Now something that I saw when I was watching the video, it was very strange how Elvis himself was marrying them. You can say it's not Elvis all you want, I know what I see. And then of course we have a wedding chapel. And then of course we have these guys singing like actual goons. Some rappers and musicians call it the Rain Man. Some call it an alter ego. Roman, Sasha Fierce. But one thing is truly clear if you can actually see. Divination itself, workings of demons and fallen angels, is behind the whole media industry.
The ancient Romans had a bone to pick. This solid silver ancient Roman amulet was sold at an auction, and try to take a guess as to what it was used for. It's only 3 centimeters tall, depicting a grotesque head with exaggerated features dating back to around the 1st to 2nd century AD, part of a private collection called the Esteemed European Collection. And it has this long, prominent nose, high cheeks, and a massive forehead, but what does it all mean? Well, grotesque features were traditionally used in amulets during the time of the Romans as a way to ward off evil, to keep the bearer protected and serve as symbolic reminders of the separation between our earthly realm and the divine. And I guess, lucky buyer scored this one right here for £3,200, about $4,300, so I hope it was worth it.
The paradox of intelligence is that the most intelligent people do not feel intelligent, and inversely, the dumbest people feel like they're the smartest ones. This tends to be because people who are regarded as highly intelligent are usually within a space of problem solving that is really difficult. So, by proxy, they don't know what they are working on. They have to figure the things out. They have to find different ways of getting information in for them to decipher what could be the truth or what is a fallacy. What is the red herring in all of this? What is a symptom versus the cause versus the root? Dumb people think that the limited information that they get is all they need to get the answer. This is why it fucking irks me when somebody says that they're good with pattern recognition or they can process information quickly. Those things aren't fucking hard to do. What's hard to do is to be curious about a problem, form the hypothesis, and continually try to disprove it. This is what intelligent people are trying to do. They're actively trying to disprove what they believe because inherently we are biased to whatever it is that we think. And they have to utilize different frameworks, different mental models so they can get as clarified answers as possible before they say, this is what I believe and this is why I think it's right. The dumb people say, no, I've seen this pattern before. This is an easily solvable problem, and that is why I believe it's right. And inherently you are biased because you are the one that believes it. And if you already think that you're intelligent, you are starting from a flawed place to begin with.
When a narcissist...
Intelligence is not a feeling. You just know it by results. You want to tell me that Einstein and Newton didn't know that, they were intelligent?
Done.
There are lots of things that I respect about her. I think that she knows how to work the business like nobody I've ever seen before. And there's something about her that I don't like. She's mean.
She's mean.
I don't like that. I mean, I remember having her over to my house a couple of times because Sean and I were friends, and she just was so rude to everybody. It seems to me that she's got so much that she doesn't have to act the way that she acts, like a spoiled brat all the time. And it seems to me when you reach the kind of acclaim that she's reached and can do whatever you want to do, you should be a little bit more magnanimous and a little bit less of a...
Now, the Buddha versus Christ consciousness. It's not so much that one is below the other. They sit on different axes of the mandala. Buddha consciousness is the frequency of awareness without entanglement. It sees the illusion and releases it. It says desire is the root of suffering. Let go. Christ consciousness is the frequency of love within entanglement. It says even in pain, I will love. Even through betrayal, I will serve. One is emptiness. The other is fullness. Buddha says, step out of the world. Christ says, step deeper into it without losing yourself. So they are not ranked. They are complementary paths to transcendence. You could say Buddha dissolves the self. Christ transforms the self into a vessel for the whole. Buddha sits still and watches the storm pass. Christ walks into the storm and says, peace, be still. Both lead to union, but they offer different roads, one through silence, one through surrender. So the question becomes, which path calls to your heart right now? Or are you dancing both into one?
Wow, I love this. I'm on Team Jesus, King of Kings, my God, my Savior.
If you are playing Ding Dong Ditch, you need to watch out. Over the weekend, an 11-year-old boy was shot and killed after ringing a doorbell of a house in Houston, Texas. Now, he and his friends were playing a game of Ding Dong Ditch around 11 p.m. just along their own street, when witnesses told police that they saw the boy running away from the house when a person came out and shot him. He was rushed to hospital but pronounced dead on Sunday. One of the homicide detectives said that it'll more than likely be a murder charge, noting that the boy's death does not appear to involve self-defense because the shooting wasn't close to the home. But the scary part is that this prank is much more deadly than you would think. Just a couple of months ago in May, an 18-year-old high school senior in Virginia was shot and killed while filming a Ding Dong Ditch video for TikTok. And in 2020, 3 16-year-olds were killed when a man rammed into their vehicle in retaliation for pulling this prank on him. So, I will repeat.
Wow, only in America. And why the kids playing at 11 p.m.?
It's going to completely annihilate your perception of your spirituality. I know you think you're a spiritual person, but listen to this. You are the observer of your life. You are just watching the show play out, the movie. You're watching it play out, right? The problem where you go wrong with your manifestations and why no one manifests what they actually want and everyone struggles with it, and it's a constant uphill struggle to manifest what you want in your life. There's 2 reasons for this. Number 1 is you, the ego, I'm Luke and I'm 23 from Manchester and I have this identity and this uniqueness and I'm different from that person and blah, blah, blah. That version of you is trying to wrestle with your soul or your spirit or God or the universe or whatever you want to define that higher power as, right? And the reason it's wrestling with it is because your ego thinks, no, I want to achieve the manifestation and the goal that I have in my brain and the success that I want in this way. But you, with your ignorant ego, which has been built up from past experiences, doesn't understand the future reality that it's trying to tap into, is basing what it wants and how it wants to get that thing in a certain way based upon ignorance, because it hasn't been there yet. The ego hasn't been there yet. Your soul is everything at the same time. This is where it gets a bit interesting, so stay with me. The ego wants to control the show. It wants to direct the movie and have it play out exactly as it wants it to. But the thing is, the movie's already been directed. The show now just has to play out. That's it. Your soul, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, has already directed the movie. It's already written. It's scripted, it's ready to go. The show is being premiered, and you are the observer and also the main character in the show. All that you have to do, literally all you have to actually do in this game of life is think about what you want, imagine as if you've already got it, and then just watch the show play out and enjoy the ups and downs of the show as the main character, you, and the observer, also you, watching it from the show, from the chairs in the background, enjoys the ups and downs of the show. If you went to watch a movie and it was predictable and you knew exactly what was going to happen and exactly how the character's going to get to where you know the character's going to go, you probably wouldn't even want to really watch the movie. It'd be kind of boring, right? The reason why life is so interesting and why although sometimes it's hard and it's difficult, the reason why it's so enjoyable at the same time is the yin and yang. There's always a bit of light in the dark and there's always a bit of dark in the light, and they have to coexist for one to exist in the first place. The light has to exist in order for dark to exist and vice versa. So your ups and downs only exist because the other version of it exists as well. So just enjoy it and observe the show and trust in your soul or God or the universe or just yourself that everything will always work out and you'll be fine. Now all that you have to actually do is enjoy the show.
I do
So do we have free will or not?
not see this being spoken about enough. Vietnam closed another 86 million bank accounts a week after Thailand froze 3 million bank accounts. And you guys want to know the whole reason why they're doing this to people? It's because people aren't trying to comply with this whole digital ID thing. Basically, they're trying to digitize everything. They're trying to digitize your identity. They're trying to automate and digitize the jobs and the workforce. They're also trying to automate and digitize the financial industry. And it's happening in Thailand, bro. Like, this isn't just some Western concept. You often see people talk about, like, is the end times only happening in America? No, they do it in these other countries where media isn't that popular because they can get away with it much better. People will go along with it. It's easier for them to manipulate when all the eyes aren't on said topic. And it's coming here. Yeah, it is. I'll show you. Quick Google search. Is digital IDs coming to America? Yes, they are coming to the US. And it says here that digital IDs can be saved in digital wallets like an Apple wallet or a Google wallet. guys, look, we're here. This like is really happening, bro. Like Terminator, all these movies, WALL-E, iRobot, like all these movies, they tried to warn us, bro. And it's not that they tried to warn us, they really just were letting us know what's going to happen in the future. Will you be getting a digital ID? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, let me know your thoughts regarding this digital ID and what all you think is really going on here. But hey, you know, we were warned. We definitely were warned. The Bible says in Revelation 13 that no man would be able to buy or sell save he receive a mark. So I'll leave that there. You let me know what you think that means.
It's called the beginning of the beast system.
Is it just me, or does everything feel empty anymore? Like, even TV shows don't hit the same way. Like, nothing really hits the same anymore. Like, I really can't explain it, just everything really feels off. Holidays don't feel the same. Nothing feels the same anymore. And I know I can't be the only one out there that feels like this. Like, nothing at all just feels real. People feel different. Like, everything just feels different. And I don't know why this is. I really don't. Because, you know, back in the day when I was growing up, you know, everything felt real. Like, you looked forward to stuff. Nowadays, it's like you're going through the motions with a lot of stuff. And again, I know I can't be the only one out there that's feeling like this. Like, everything just feels empty.
It's being an adult. I see kids are enjoying their lives. You know, they look forward to everything. A simple ice cream makes them very happy.
So there's been a war declared on Jesus himself in Britain. Britain has outlawed prayer. Whether you pray at home, you pray in public, you lay hands on anyone and pray in the name of Jesus, even with total consent, preach the name of Jesus, hand out a Bible, they will arrest you and charge you and put you in jail for 2 years. They have criminalized Christianity. And with this, there's a direct attack on the church. There's a direct attack on Jesus himself. Yet you can say jihad in the streets openly. And actually, every other religion is not only accepted, but widely celebrated in Britain right now. And so this charge is being led by the government. They are trying to effectually become God. They want to be the supreme authority. And as it stands right now, even they said if they can prove that you're praying to Jesus in your head, yes, praying in your head, they will arrest you right now and they will charge you and penalize you with 2 years in jail. So Britain has launched an all-out attack on the church and an all-out attack on Christ when the entire heritage of Britain and the foundation of which they stand on was all founded by the Bible. It was all biblical values of which Britain was even built upon. So as this video
So it has officially begun.
Video is going to be really disgusting, but everybody needs to see what an average family looks like in a country where Sharia law is the law of the land. This is Asadillah and his family who all reside in Afghanistan. And this is Gulnaz, who is his second wife. She's actually the cousin of his first wife. 2009, Asadillah decided to rape his wife's cousin Gulnaz and got her pregnant with this kid. In any civilized Western country, Asadillah would face rape charges and would probably go to jail. But Sharia law works a little bit different. You see, because he was already married, they actually charged the cousin Gulnaz for adultery. Actually charged her with zina, which is an Islamic legal term referring to unlawful sexual intercourse. Gulnaz was initially sentenced to 2 years in jail, which later was raised to 12 years. And inside the jail is where she gave birth to her daughter. And this is not where the story ends. After her American lawyer got more than 5,000 people to sign a petition to release Gulnaz, the president signed her pardon. But in order to gain freedom and to integrate back to her community, and more importantly than anything, to legitimize her daughter, she had to marry the rapist. And get this, after the government pardoned her, the government then forced her to marry her rapist. And then they claimed to have rescued her from shame by making her marry him. And this right here is your average family in a Muslim country under Sharia law.
Yep, I'm familiar with this.
If you see this on the road, don't hit it.
Ho, ho, ho! I watched this video for what felt like an hour trying to figure out what I was looking at, and I finally believe I have the puzzle cracked. This video shows a person driving down a road. In the distance, there's this weird object that appears to be floating, and it really does not make sense in terms of depth perception as to what's going on here. Upon observing this over and over again, though, I found one shape that appears to be consistent with what we saw in the original video, and that is the back end of an owl flying. Given the fact that this video was recorded at nighttime and owls are excellent gliders, I believe that we're probably looking at a large owl that actually has a bird in its talons, because down here we can see another pair of wings flapping. So this owl likely just picked up dinner. In terms of the exact type of owl, I'm not too sure. I wouldn't feel confident because the resolution is very low, but I do know that great horned owls are very large and have a large wingspan. Either way, if this video is real, I do think that this is an owl. Otherwise, I would just peg this as being AI.
Another creepy transformation. Look at this video. You see an American reporter. Look at her creepy hand. That's not fake. This is real.
Okay. Oh, the fingers. Yeah, that's kind of weird. How you doing?
When I saw this gore video, it stuck with me for days. And guys, I even made a video about it. And honestly, guys, I couldn't sleep for days. And to this day, it scars me. Let me tell you which video I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Ghost Rider video. Let me know in the comments below if you know which video I'm talking about. For you guys that don't know, for you guys that haven't seen the video that I made, basically, it starts off with a man in the middle of nowhere somewhere in Mexico. I'm not surprised, guys. Again, Mexico. It's always Mexico. It's always Brazil. It's always Latin America. But anyways, it starts off with a guy on his knees. And oh my goodness, guys. It's like the worst thing I ever seen. His entire face is on fire and his skin is melting and he's screaming. He's like, ah, ah, ah. Literally, that's how it sounds. Ah, ah, ah. He's in so much pain because his face is melting, his throat like it's getting burned, and they have his arms behind his back and he can do nothing but suffer. And the entire time the guy's recording this, they're laughing, they're mocking him, and they're like, oh yeah, I thought you were Ghost Rider. I thought you were Ghost Rider. And let me explain that. Let me explain why they were mocking him, and let me explain why they were calling him Ghost Rider. Well, it turns out that this guy was a cartel member. It was a rival cartel member, and he went by the name of Ghost Rider. And if you guys haven't seen that movie, that Nicolas Cage movie, basically is where his skull is on fire and he's riding on a motorcycle. But this guy, I don't know why, okay? But he called himself Ghost Rider. Well, I do know why. Let me tell you why he called himself Ghost Rider. So basically, he will capture his victims and he will burn their face.
Oh, okay.
So he will burn every victim's face that he captured. And now on this video, they were doing it to him. And guys, the video was like 2 to 3 minutes long, and honestly, it's one of the worst videos I ever seen in my life. It really, really got to me, and I know this guy deserved it because he did it to other people, but still watching the video, the way he's in pain, the way he can't do anything about it, guys, really got to me. It has to be one of the worst videos I ever seen, and I've seen a lot, guys, but he's in so much pain, and guys, honestly, do not watch this video. Do not watch this video. But if you are curious to see this video for yourself, I posted it inside my Discord server. Brah! If you guys want access to my Discord server, it's only available to my Patreon paid members. So it's very simple if you want to join my Discord. Click the Patreon link in my bio, join any paid tier, and once you join any paid tier, I'll personally send you the Discord server link. Brah! By the way, guys, I also have bad news. TikTok, my TikTok page is going to be taken down very soon. They keep giving me strikes. They keep giving me copyright strikes. And you know what? TikTok doesn't let me do shit. They're sensitive. If they won't let me post videos here, I'll post videos on Patreon. So from now on, I'm going to be posting all of my videos on Patreon along with exclusive podcasts. So if you haven't done so yet, join my paid Patreon now. Brah.
You know, Mexico is not seeing me. Brah.
The highest paid bodyguard in the world is a woman. Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's Rayleigh lady. I ain't gonna say her name on here.
I know her.
But yeah, she speaks 8 languages, bro. Dangerous. She's dangerous. Like, I know she was a sniper before. And then the thing is, like, you know, women scientifically pay closer attention to detail. Facts. You feel me? So, like,
Yasin Chuko is Lionel Messi bodyguard. Is the highest paid.
Okay, so I think we finally have an answer as to why all of the generals of the entire United States military are being ordered to gather in Quantico, Virginia at Marine Corps Base Quantico. But first, here's the Secretary of War with the gritty.
All right, when y'all score, I want to see the gritty. Yeah, I want to see the gritty.
So according to tons of official sources, the full stated purpose for this meeting is for the Secretary of War to deliver a brief speech lasting less than an hour focused on reinforcing military standards, grooming, and physical fitness requirements, leadership conduct, and his vision of a, quote, warrior ethos. This ethos emphasizes harder training, a more aggressive posture for the armed forces, and alignment with the Trump administration's national security policies, including greater focus on homeland defense and the Western Hemisphere. Now, the Secretary of War has framed it as a direct, quote, eyeball to eyeball conversation to ensure everyone is rowing in the same direction. Apparently, the event is going to be filmed, potentially for later public release, and includes no formal agenda beyond the speech itself, described by some as a motivational pep rally rather than a briefing. Now, while the Pentagon has confirmed the event, it has provided very few details up front, which heightens the level of unease that everybody has, especially since they're pulling combatant commanders across the entire world all back at the same time. But at least so far, there's no evidence pointing to any type of imminent war declaration or any other crisis as the trigger. Instead, it seems to be more aligning with the current administration's hands-on approach to reshaping military culture.
The Chinese military parade really shook up Pentagon.
And I remember Nikola Tesla said, you want to know the secrets of the universe? Think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. You know what has energy, frequency, and vibration? Me and you and every human that you know. Oh. If you want to know the secret of the universe, you are the secret of the universe. And now we understand. I like it. That's why they poison our schools and get them up while they're young. That's why the media, that's why the government, that's why the food, that's why the water, that's why the farming. What is it about you that they would go through that much trouble to make you feel like you're actually free? And you're not. What is it about you? What is it? That's what's one question I would ask everyone to ask. What is it about me?
Spiritual warfare.
This is a brand new AI video model.
Self-aware.
This is another important PSA for women out there. And if you're a woman, sit back because you're going to want to hear this. There is a new trend in human trafficking. And in this new case, what they're doing is they are now grooming and using children to approach women in parking lots. The tactic and decoy are very, very simple. They'll send a child in to you, crying, screaming, I want my mommy, I'm lost. And of course, someone is going to sit there and say, let me help. And what happens next is someone will pull up either in a van or a car and say, oh, there you are. And then they'll grab you and place you in the van or the car and kidnap you. Remember, these children are being groomed and trained to do this. Because once again, who's not going to stop and help a child in distress? One thing they're saying for you to do is if you encounter this, or this happens to you in any way, shape, or form, immediately call the authorities. Just like anything else, human trafficking has evolved, and this is just another step in their game. So please, keep your head on a swivel, be aware of your surroundings, get off of your phone, and pay very close attention. So just remember, contact the authorities immediately and stay safe out there.
There you go, ladies. Stay safe always.